Okay, hi guys. Here's our last check understanding for this chapter, page 249. In an interesting experiment, researchers examined the effect of ultrasound on birth weight. Pregnant women participating in the study were randomly assigned to one of two groups. The first group of women received an ultrasound and the second group did not. When the subjects' babies were born, their birth weights were recorded, and the women who received the ultrasounds had heavier babies. That's very interesting. Okay. Before we talk about placebo and double blind and all that kind of stuff, let's lay out the design of the experiment. Okay, we had our pregnant women. We don't know how many. I don't know, 100. They were randomly assigned to either the ultrasound treatment or the no ultrasound treatment. And then the response that was recorded at the end was the birth weight. Okay, the birth weight was recorded and compared. And the conclusion was that women who received ultrasounds had heavier babies. Who knows why? Okay. So the first question is, did the experiment take the placebo effect into account? Okay. First of all, a placebo effect means you have a reaction, a positive reaction to a fake treatment. So that would mean the conclusion seems to link the ultrasounds to heavier babies. So a placebo would mean a heavier baby resulted from a no ultrasound. But this can't be a placebo, okay? Because a placebo is a fake treatment. A woman, either she knows she's getting an ultrasound or she knows she's not getting an ultrasound. You can't, there's no placebo here. I can't fake it, okay? A good example of a placebo, use of a placebo, is taking a pill. If I had 100 people, I divide them up into two groups of 50, and I gave one group the real pill and the other group a placebo or a pretend pill, and the pills looked identical, my groups wouldn't know. Nobody in any of the groups would know whether they were getting the placebo or not. So the placebo group could react to the pill or to the placebo the same way they react to the real treatment, and that would be a placebo effect. Okay, but here we can't do it. Okay, was the experiment double blind? Okay, double blind means the person receiving the treatment and the person giving the treatment don't know what treatment they're getting. Okay, so could this experiment have been double blind? No, there's no way. Okay, both the women getting the ultrasound and the doctors administering the ultrasound know they're either getting or doing a real ultrasound. Okay, there's no way to blind these. Well, in this scenario. So let's talk about our example with the pill. We could double blind an experiment with a pill because the two groups of people receiving the pill or the placebo, they might not know what they're getting. They might think they're all getting the real pill when half of them are getting the placebo. And then the doctor, I wrote doctoring, the doctor giving out the pills or the placebos, they might not know which pill they're giving their patient, whether it's the placebo or the real one. Somebody knows, but the two people, the patient and the doctor administering it, the two people that are interacting don't know. Okay, so that's double blind. Okay. Based on your answers to questions 1 and 2, how can we improve the design for this experiment? So basically, how can we do a placebo and how can we make it double blind? Okay. Well, for placebo, and I know you guys don't know anything about ultrasounds, but when you go to have an ultrasound when you're pregnant, they put this looks like a microphone thing on your stomach, and then a picture of the baby in your belly appears on a screen, okay? So the only way to have a placebo is if all the women go into the ultrasound room, get the little microphone thing on their belly, but the person administering the ultrasound doesn't actually show the screen, because you can see your baby on the screen. So if they kind of turn the machine away from the mother so they can't see the image on the screen, and the person administering the ultrasound pretends that they see a baby when they're not really doing it half the time, but then of course they will see a baby when they're doing it the half time. That's the only way I can think of to introduce a placebo into this experiment, okay? Which seems kind of silly, but whatever. Double blind. It's impossible for this experiment to be double blind, okay? Because the patient with a placebo, the pregnant woman might not know she's getting an ultrasound, whether she's getting the real or the fake ultrasound. But the person administering the ultrasound, they know whether they're doing a real one or not. So the only thing we can really do here is have a single blind experiment, okay? Again, where the pregnant woman doesn't know whether she's getting a real or a fake ultrasound, okay? Okay, that's it for that. I'll see you later.